Tony and I'm a mindset coach, and I think you're going to get a lot of benefit out of our little talk today. Think about where we come from as a species. We certainly haven't got the greatest senses. We don't have the greatest sense of smell. We don't have the greatest sense of taste. We don't have the greatest eyesight in the animal kingdom. We're definitely not the strongest. To tell you the truth, we're not even equipped naturally to deal with the elements. We are the only animal that has to put something on to protect us from the elements. But yet in some way, we manage to make it all the way to the top of the food chain. Why do you think that is? What makes us different? Yeah, we are. We're seriously lacking in a lot of physical attributes, yet we've raised ourselves right to the top of the food chain. It is pretty simple. We have a better functioning brain. And I think that's so important for us to understand, is that we have a better functioning brain. Our ability to reason, imagine, and choose has set us apart from anything else on this planet. And it's caused us to go to greatness. It's caused us to go from a cave to the moon and conquer everything in between. And the awesome thing about this, and this is the wonderful revelation, is that you have got a brain as well. You've got this power. You've got the most powerful tool on this planet, and it's in between your ears. So think about it. The brain is absolutely amazing. Your brain is absolutely amazing. Do me a favor, take a look around you. Just look at your environment. Where do you think this came from? Where do you think the world that we experience, with all these beautiful creations, joys and pleasures that we have, all these toys, all these beautiful homes, all these beautiful creation, where do you think it comes from? Well, it was all conceived in the mind of man. It all started as a spark in someone's brain. And then all of a sudden it was brought through reason, imagination, and choice and commitment. It was brought into this realm so that we could experience it. And I want you to just stop for a moment and think about the magnitude of that statement. That it's this one tool that man has used to shape and conquer the world. Man has used it to subdue every obstacle that has come across his path. Every time you've won in life and every time you've lost in life, your brain has had a contribution in that. Think about it. It's a powerful, powerful statement. And I want you to understand, and I really want you to embrace the fact that you have this and that you are equipped. There is nothing that can stand in your way, and there's nothing that can stop you. Now, I know that we place all these limiting beliefs on us, and we sort of have grown up and we've developed an attitude and belief to think that we're not good enough, that we cannot make it, that our brains are not as powerful as someone else's. But that's not the truth, because all brains are basically born the same. They're just conditioned and trained differently. You might have conditioned yourself to believe that you can't. You weren't born that way. You might have conditioned yourself to believe that you're weak, that you're not good enough, that you are not deserving. You weren't born that way. You were made that way. You were conditioned that way and trained that way. And the truth is, if you want to get ahead and if you want to overcome and if you want to achieve your goals and your dreams and your passions, you're going to have to dismantle that identity. I want to ask you really to think about that word, dismantle. You're going to have to dismantle the identity. You're going to have to take apart the beliefs that are holding you back, the attitudes that are holding you back. You're going to have to take that apart. And you're going to have to start creating in you a victorious, an overcoming, a winning, and a championship attitude and belief system. Let's say you want to give up smoking. Just say, I'm not saying that you're a smoker, but pretend you were a smoker and you wanted to give up smoking. For as long as you identify yourself as being a smoker, you will battle to give up the habit. But the minute you stop identifying, you dismantle that identity of being a smoker, all of a sudden to overcome smoking will be easier. Even if you stop telling yourself, let's say you want to lose weight. If you stop telling yourself, I can't lose weight, I'm overweight, I can't do this. If you start dismantling that identity, you'll find that you'll start having the courage and the strength to do it. So start dismantling that identity that is holding you back. You might say, well, Grant, exactly how do I do it? Well, there's many ways. I don't know if you can remember when you were a kid. You would go watch a movie. Well, I certainly would. And then if it was a cowboy movie, I'd come back and then I'd get my little play guns, and I'd be the hero of the movie. Or if you watch a Superman movie, you pretend you're Superman. You use that creative imagination and you use it as a tool that makes you stronger and makes you better. And it helps a lot. And somewhere along the line, as we get older, we find that we no longer use our creative imagination to help us grow as a person. Yet as a child, it was good. And when somebody says to you as an adult, use your creative imagination to grow, you sort of think it's childish, but it isn't really. If you start imagining yourself to be a better, stronger person, if you start putting on that identity, almost like Superman, run into the phone box and come out as a super, go through that identity change, start imagining yourself to be more. Because the truth is that learned behavior that you've got, that's holding you back, that's saying I can't, that's not the real you, that's not the true you, that is not it. You are the powerful you. You are part of, and you are one of the strongest species on the face of this earth. You are sitting in a position where you've got the tool that nothing is impossible for you. Think about it. Everything that you want is only this far away. I kid you not, everything you want is only this far away. It's this far away. And I know that everything sounds simple, but it's not. I know it is hard. I know it is hard to change your identity, but we've got to learn to do the tough things. We've got to learn. Everybody that has succeeded, everybody that has won, everybody that's become a champion, they've all had to learn to do the hard things. And you've got to understand that the guy that's an awesome athlete, that's a fantastic athlete, he's the guy that's worked the hardest. I was watching this program. It's about downhill racing, and it's called The Fast Life by Red Bull. And in that they were interviewing one of the promoters, one of the managers of a couple of the sportsmen. And he said this, he says, your sponsors pay you, right, for your work ethic, for the work that you do, for the training that you do, the effort that you put in. They don't pay you for what happens on race day. That's your off day. You don't see that. You look at the movie stars that you're following all over. You're looking at all of these people, these top people, and you admire them. But what you're forgetting is that they are working very hard at the background, and nothing has come easy to any one of them. They've had to do the heavy lifting. They've had to do the extra reps. They've had to do the extra hours. They've had to do the extra rounds. They've all had to do it. So if you want to get better, you're going to have to start training yourself to do the difficult things. Unfortunately, there isn't a way around it. But if you start doing the difficult things, you will start reaping the rewards. I like this. I absolutely love this saying. It says, what you do in private will be rewarded in public. Start doing the heavy lifting. Start doing the work on yourself. Start making yourself strong, so that you can go out there and win, so that you can achieve the life that you so desperately want. Your brain has the ability and has the power to craft a path that will take you to the fulfillment of your dreams. But you've got to start working it. You've got to start training your brain. Remember, all brains are basically born the same, but conditioned and trained differently. Your brain is a tool that you use. It's a tool that can give you your desires, or it can destroy your dreams. But you decide. It's your tool, and you need to take that responsibility. My encouragement to you is this, is that you really take this short little message to heart, and that you really believe it. Start using your creative imagination. Start creating a better life for yourself. I know that it is very hard, and that we are in difficult circumstances, and that we find ourselves in the unknown. But this is the perfect opportunity for you to do a journey within. Remember, success is always an inside-out story. So use this opportunity. Use this hardship so that you can make yourself stronger and better. I know that you can, because I know where we've come from. We started in a cave without a language, and this is where we've ended up. Nothing is impossible for you. You've got a brain. Everything you want is only this far